Hi everyone, Chantel here. Welcome to Art Side Out. Today we are going to make this beauty, starting with collage and then turning that collage, that background collage, into the focal point. These flowers were built from the background collage. We'll also be using acrylic paint, distress ink, stamping, stencils, texture paste, and a lot of fun stuff. This is a really fun and rewarding process. So I'm so excited to share it with you. And I'm so glad you're here with me today. Okay, let's jump in. For this collage background, I wanted to get as much variety as possible. So I used a lot of different scraps, different colors, different textures, because I knew I would be using the background as the focal point for the flowers. This was really fun. Now, if you don't find collage relaxing like I do, feel free to fast forward past this to around the 3-minute mark. Then we'll be moving on to something else. I love seeing this come together with all the different designs and colors. It's amazing how they work together even though they're so different. I guess that's what collage is all about. I use a matte gel medium to lay them down. And what you do is you put some underneath on the board where you will be placing the paper and then over top of it. And the reason you put it over top is not only does it help it adhere more to the surface, it also creates a surface for you to keep on doing more mixed media. It creates a new surface for you. This looks so fabulous. I almost don't want to do anything else. Just that's it, it's done. Just kidding, there's more. Almost done here with the collage. So now I'm going to break this into a section. Since I am making a floral, I will need the vase to sit on a counter of some sort. Here I'm using light pink from Liquitex. It's a heavy body, so I've watered it down. It's one of my favorite colors. Now I take a paper towel and just get some excess paint off of there, and it gives it a little bit of texture as well. Coming in with Festive Berries Tim Holtz Distress Ink. Love this color. I just got it recently and it's my new fave. I'm sort of going around the edges here. In order to accentuate that border and make it a little more interesting, I'm using this great border stamp that I have. A supply list will be listed in the description below. I wanted to add more interest to the background before I start to trace the flowers out of it, so I'm doing some stamping with various stamps that I have on hand. This one here is the Tim Holtz Botanic stamp. Now I'm using a postcard style stamp that I had in my stash with rhubarb stock dye ink. and tracing out the vase. I realized I went a little too high and I wasn't going to have enough room for the flowers, so I took some of that away and turned the vase into a little bit more of a round shape. Now coloring in the vase with Summer Squash Decoart acrylic paint. I didn't want to go too heavy because I wanted some of that background to show through it as well, just to give something more to it. And once again, paper towel to lift some of the paint off. Now the moment of truth. We're tracing out the flowers. And then we're going to be painting around the flowers to reveal those flowers. Okay, using Desert Turquoise Decoart acrylic paint, watch the magic happen as the flowers get revealed. Now adding some stems to the flowers using a brown colored oil pastel. Now coming in with a light green oil pastel. Adding some centers to the flowers and more color to make them pop. This piece needed some black now, so using TCW's Harlequin stencil, I'm adding black. You'll see that it moves the eye around the piece a little bit, and now coming in with texture paste and a word stencil. That just adds a romantic element, doesn't it? Time for some shading using a black oil pastel and also a charcoal pencil. Off camera, I also did some shading and tracing with black around the flowers just to make them pop more. Here I'm adding lines to the vase just to give some depth perception and shape to it. Framing the panel now with black oil pastel. And a little white splatter to add a painterly, fun sort of vibe. And finally, some leaves. I have some leaves in my flower stash. And there it is. I hope you enjoyed this today. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe, and by all means leave a comment. I love to hear from you. I hope watching this today helps bring your art side out.